Okay, before we get started, Marvel fans, I love you. I really, really do. Some of my closest friends are diehard Marvel fans, so please be nice. But I want to ask you guys, is this really the Marvel movie that you guys were waiting for? Like, really, really, really? Let me know in the comments, and while I look for a place to hide. Hmm. What's up, y'all? This is Pree's Perspective with me, Preetha. So, after a lot of delays because of sold out shows and a somewhat passable attempt at avoiding spoilers, I finally got to watch Deadpool and Wolverine starring Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, directed by Shawn Levy. And as much as I want to say that I had a blast, I think I'm gonna hold it in and pull the reins at I had a good time. I liked it. And yeah, that's what I genuinely felt. I know a lot of people have been dying hard for this film ever since the teaser and trailer was announced, and or actually like a year back when it was announced that Hugh Jackman is returning as Wolverine. I know people have been waiting for this film for so long, but as much as the excitement, as much as the anticipation to it kind of built it up, and I went to the theater and watched it, I was like, yeah, it's good, but maybe it could have been great? I don't know. Okay, let's start by giving credit where credit is due. As much as people are talking about the opening minutes of the film, with the intro to Bye 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 by NSYNC and Deadpool just dancing his way through the TVA officers, I actually want to talk about the last 30 minutes of the movie because I feel like that's when the movie went totally into fourth gear, and I actually felt like, yeah, I'm watching a Marvel movie. This is what I actually paid my money for. I mean, if anybody was gonna tell me that I'm gonna get Hugh Jackman, pun intended, and Ryan Reynolds fight off a bunch of variants and save the timeline by while listening to Like a Prayer by Madonna, I would be like, hey, where do I sign up? Because, not gonna lie, the last 30 minutes of the movie really gave me goosebumps and really put me at the edge of my seat. I was waiting for that Marvel moment, and I think Levy did a really great job in bringing it in and kind of wrapping all close ends what we had in mind. And I also want to give props to the action choreography. I think it really pushed the boundaries for some of the stunts that we have seen in Marvel movies typically. I mean, who am I kidding? It's a Deadpool movie. Of course I'm gonna get all the blood and the gore and be all wacky and witty while doing it. I mean, this is what I signed up for, right? And I I want to talk a little bit about the performances because I feel like Emma Corrin, she really stole the show for me as Cassandra Nova. I mean, she was maniacal, she was psychotic, she brought in that kind of very like negative energy to counteract Jackman and Reynolds' dry, witty, and very sarcastic, yet very comical energy. And it was really, I want to say, it was really refreshing to see Jackman being like very comical as Wolverine. I mean, there were just some moments which definitely gave me a laugh, especially when he's arguing with Deadpool and he just goes like, "Shut up!" I don't want to say any of the swear words because, well, this is a PG review, unlike the film which was R-rated. Please. And What else did I like? I really liked the soundtrack. I really liked the incorporation of music to kind of um, establish the relationship between Deadpool and Wolverine. It's kind of very love-hate relationship, kind of what we saw in their internet feud against each other. And I really like that they kind of carried on the self-aware, very dry, sarcastic humor into the MCU, which we've typically seen in the Deadpool movies. And I really like the fact that they acknowledged some of the failures that Marvel has been doing so far. Because let's face it, Marvel's Multiverse Saga has barely worked. Like, barring Loki, maybe Multiverse of Madness, WandaVision, and maybe to a certain extent Guardians of Galaxy Volume 3. Although I know for a fact that there are some people who don't exactly consider it as a multiverse movie, but who cares? But yeah, the Marvel Multiverse Saga has not exactly worked out as per plan, and I really like that they kind of acknowledged it, and they literally joke about it in the movie. But now I want to come to the tricky part. I feel like there were moments where this kind of self-aware humor was kind of very overdone, and it was like there were moments, at least in the mid part of the movie, where even the cameos and the humor attached to it kind of became like they were trying to be funny or trying to like just win their audience back desperately. I mean, I get some of the cameos, like, okay, major spoiler alert, if you still haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know who else is in it, leave the video now. I'm gonna be talking about the cameos right now, so yeah, like I was saying, some of the cameos, like Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, you got Jennifer Garner as Elektra, you got, I'm forgetting the actor who plays Blade. Oh my gosh, why does this keep happening to me? Anyway, the actor who plays Blade, those cameos still make sense, right? I mean, they kind of are there to, you know, take the story forward and add a bit of more like comic relief to like kind of, you know, build up to the stakes at hand. But I honestly felt like beyond a point, the humor and the cameos were kind of very exhausting and kind of dragged the pacing a little bit. For example, even in the climax, you got Blake Lively voicing Lady Deadpool, you've got Matthew McConaughey, you've got Rob Delaney, and I get like this is kind of attached to Reynolds' friendship and relationships with them, but were they really necessary? No, I wouldn't say. Please don't hate me, Marvel fans. Please don't hate me. Please, 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 please. But yeah, and even when I think there's also a cameo by Channing Tatum who plays the Gambit, and I did a bit of digging. I think he was supposed to star in Gambit in a Fox production of the Marvel hero. And then now that Marvel has acquired Fox and presto, changeo, all the characters are now a part of the MCU. As much as I enjoyed it, the parts where he's like talking like very gibberishly or people are not exactly able to understand him, I felt like some of the moments were not really necessary, to be honest. And also, what were the quips against Warner for? I mean, why did it have to bring in like Furiosa? I mean, seriously, you're in a Disney movie. Why do you have to like raise beef against like other studios? I mean, I get it, they have been reasonably doing better, but did you have to? And here comes my biggest gripe with it. I felt like at least like 70% of the movie felt like an elaborate breakup letter of Marvel Studios with 20th Century Fox. I mean, there's literally a moment where Deadpool literally points to the camera and is like, "In your face, Fox, go to hell," and all that shit. And yeah, I get it. You want to like bring in that very sarcastic humor that Deadpool is known for, but do you have to like drag that joke on and on and on and on and be like, "Yeah, Fox did this, I'm not gonna do that anymore, I'm free now." And I mean, you could have literally spent that time giving Emma Corrin, that is Nova's character, a lot more depth, because I feel like that was something which was desperately missing. Her ambitions as a villain are insanely flippant. Like, on one point she's like, "Oh yeah, I love the void, I want to play God here," and then when she discovers that there's a time ripper and there are like other universes out there, and she discovers that her brother might be actually looking for her, and be like, "Oh, is that so? Okay, how about I just go to the time ripper, destroy it, so I can be the god of the ultimate universe?" I'm like, huh? Like, really? When did that switch happen? And why did it happen? And this actually comes to my biggest point about the movie, because even when I'm talking about it, I can't help but even think about some of the latest decisions that Marvel has announced, especially during Comic-Con. Like, for example, bringing back the Russo brothers to direct the next two Avengers, bringing back RDJ to play Doctor Doom. At this point, I feel like Marvel has literally been in a freefall, and this movie, bringing back RDJ and the Russo brothers, is just them just like clinging on to the rope and being like, "Yeah, I'm still here, I'm hanging on there, I know I've made some mistakes, but I'm hanging on." I feel like now is kind of the high time for Marvel to climb up the rope and literally save itself, because as much as I liked how Deadpool and Wolverine kind of brought back cinema lovers together and kind of gave them that hope that the MCU might still have something for fans, I still feel like it has a long road to go, and it could have been something which could be like a definitive answer to all the doubts surrounding the MCU. And the biggest question being, is Marvel finally just gonna give up and shut its door? This movie could have been their answer, saying that, "Nah, we're here to stay, we still have a lot more to offer, we still have our fans out there." Instead, I feel like it's just them kind of beaten up, battered, and then this is just them like waving a white flag and saying that, "Nope, we're still here, we're still hanging on." Which is why I'm gonna give Deadpool and Wolverine 3.5 stars. I'm sorry, Marvel fans, I'm really sorry. Once again, this might just be me being like a bit over picky or a tad bit over analytic. Once again, I'm really sorry. But in the words of the Scarlet Witch,
this is me being reasonable.
She said it, not me. Please. So yeah, that's what I felt about Deadpool and Wolverine. Please don't hate me on this, please. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the whole shebang. Follow me on Instagram at BukhariJipreet01, and follow me on Letterboxd at ThatFilmyChick for more such reviews. This is Priest Perspective signing off, and yeah, I think I may have just found a place to hide, so I'm just quietly gonna go under there.